We're live again on another beautiful Wheelchair Wednesday here in the Wheelhouse headquarters up here in Michigan. And today we have another special guest for you guys. Not typical injury that we normally have on the show, but it's something new, and we're inviting anybody that lives their life in a wheelchair to tell their experience, and we'll ask them some questions. So before we get to that, let's go ahead and roll the intro, and then we'll do our introductions. Welcome to the Wheelhouse, Wheelchair Wednesday. All right, guys, let's welcome our guest, Miss Tomasa Willman. Oh, I even got the wrong one. Wait, let me get you the right intro here. See, look at me even messing up. There we go. Howdy. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good to see you. Now, before we get into the questions, as with everybody, I kind of let you take the floor. Introduce yourself, tell people who you are, and then a little bit about kind of like how it happened. What is it? That's kind of our first question anyway, so we'll just let you, introduce yourself and go from there.
I'm Tomasa. I'm a mom of 3 kids. See the one in the background.
One in the background, one up one right here.
I actually became a paraplegic February 6th of 2020. I had an open heart surgery. The surgery went fine, but coming around to them starting my heart, one side did not function and the other side was functioning at 5 or 6%. Human heart can't survive like that.
Right.
So I ended up on something called ECMO, which acts like the heart, and it cycles the blood for you. I was on life support for 2.5 weeks, and when I woke up, I was paralyzed from my waist down.
Mom.
Man.
So,
when you woke up, what was like kind of, how did it all come to you? You just kind of woke up and you couldn't feel anything, or they kind of asked you, or what happened there?
I still had a tube in my throat. It was weird because my brother was home from the military. Didn't know he was home. He was sitting next to me, kind of looked at him weird. I can't see without my glasses. I have contacts in now. And my now ex-husband was walking out the room, and my brother had to grab his attention, say, "Hey, she's awake." They called the doctors in. They waited 12 hours to pull the tube out of my throat. When I woke up, my first question was, why can I not feel my legs? What's wrong?
Right.
They waited a whole 24 hours to tell me that I was paralyzed from my waist down.
Mom.
Well, that's one way to learn. That would suck real bad, especially when you went to sleep and you knew that you could feel everything, and then you wake up and you can't.
It was definitely life-changing. It took me a good 48 hours to actually realize, okay, this is real.
Right.
Mom.
And it did a lot of damage mentally.
Oh, I can imagine. And this was, you said this was when? This was 2020.
2020, just before it actually happened, just before COVID started.
Man, yeah, I was just saying before we went live, that's right around my accident happened in October 26, 2019. So right when I got home in January 9th of 2020, that's like right when COVID hit and everything started shutting down. And in a way, I was kind of like, you know what? I was like, good. Let people realize what it's like to have to sit at home. Let them, you know what I mean? Because at the time, I was all mad about it, being in like stuck where I was. And you go through a mental kind of a breakdown the first year or two.
It did a lot. They kept me in ICU for a week, roughly. I was at University of Michigan, and they sent me upstairs.
You couldn't have been at a better hospital, though, you know.
I'm glad I was at the hospital I was at, because I went at the end of February to rehab there, and I got out March 12th of 2020. I had exceeded in everything they could teach me. The rest I had to learn at home.
Right. Yeah, there's nothing like going home and actually being home for the first time and realizing that, like, okay, I'm on my own now. I got to do all this by myself. I mean, you have help, but it's like, you know, you don't have the people with you 24/7 all the time.
No.
Yep.
And with my son at the time was a year old, just over a year old.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's got to be hard. Yeah, my biggest thing I miss about being in the hospital is being able to press the button and then bring me like pies and cakes and stuff. But you don't want to eat too many of those. Let me tell you that.
No.
So this question is kind of, I already know your answer because I mean I would say yes, but it's would you walk if you could. Now a lot of people, they get injured and they've been injured for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, 15 years sometimes. And I say if you could go back and change all that, would you change it but start all the way over? So all the progress you've made so far would go back and then you would start from that point again. You know what I mean? So like if you could go back and restart, would you do it?
Part of me, yes. I do miss the use of my legs. I do miss being able to run with my kids, play ball like a normal person would. But part of me, honestly, no, because it's giving me the opportunity to show my kids no matter what life throws at you, you can still do anything you set your mind to.
Right, absolutely.
Anything.
Yep, I second that. This next question I got is dating/married. Versus like before you were out, now you're in the wheelchair. Tell us about that. How's that going for you?
It's going. Actually, I was married for 10 years before I became wheelchair bound. I divorced. My divorce actually started in November of 2020. Finalized October of 21. And I actually just remarried last August to someone that we weren't supposed to be a thing, but here we are. We've been dating almost 3 years now.
All right. Well, so that's good. So you haven't had any trouble in the dating field or anything else?
No.
But it sounds like you knew this person previous from the accident.
Yes.
Yeah, which makes it a little bit easier. Brian Neal says, hi, Rick and Tomasa. Hello.
Hello.
Brian, how you doing? All right, so that's good. It just goes to show. Just because you're down and out don't mean you're out and down. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it sounds good. Pet peeves. What is your biggest pet peeve about being in a wheelchair?
That everything isn't accessible for people like us that are in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, they're supposed to be, but really they're not. I want to go for walks with my kids, sidewalks. Well,
especially in Michigan, the roads, absolutely not.
I have to wheel myself around all the time, so that makes it a little harder. My chair does not like the grass, doesn't like the dirt, the mud. I actually have a funny story about mud and the sidewalk. My brother was home from being overseas. We went for a walk, and he was wheeling me down the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was a mud puddle that we just thought it was water. So he's like, oh, we'll just run through it. We'll go mudding.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize how thick it was, and my chair stopped, and I went out of my chair.
Oh, no. In the mud?
Oh, in the mud. I was covered in mud.
I got to hit this for that one.
About it.
That sucks. I definitely wouldn't want to do that. Do you, right now, do you usually use a manual chair or a power chair?
Manual.
Okay. We'll get to that too. That's a question down the line. Everybody watching, Becky Dawn, thank you. What's going on? Hello. So the next question I got for you is, what is something that you wish you could do that you no longer can? That
it would be going and riding bikes with my kids. rollerblading with my kids. Little things like that.
I miss riding
used to
bikes.
work on cars, but I have found little ways to be able to do so.
All right.
I'm working on getting back into painting cars, so
That's
that's
cool.
a little bit of progress.
Nice. Heck yeah, painting cars. Wheels, so that's how it is, though. Just got to get back up. Dawn said she's one of the strongest women I know. There you go. You sound like you got some supporters out there.
Yes, that is actually my mother.
Nice. Good to see you, Mom. So now that we're here, let's just talk about the wheelchair. What type of wheelchair do you got?
You know, I'm not exactly too sure because when I got my chair, I was in that state of this isn't really real. I'm gonna get the use of my legs back.
Right.
And now, I mean, they customized it to fit me because I am a smaller figured person. It's not the comfortablest one, but it works.
Right.
Gets me around.
Do you have a name for it at all?
No, my kids like to play on it, so they call it the jungle gym.
The jungle gym? Nice.
As he's climbing up the side of it here.
Right. Oh, he's like, oh, I got to be on camera too. What are you doing up here, Ma? Let me get in the spotlight. What do you do? Oh, he's got some eggs. Yeah, be careful. Those are going to be real expensive here in a couple of years.
Marshmallow eggs.
Right. Oh, nice.
Can I keep in my house?
What do you do for fitness? How do you stay active and doing stuff now in a wheelchair?
I do a lot of upper body workouts. My brother has sent me some stuff with weights and being able to push myself up in different positions.
Mm-hmm.
Lifting me, well, almost 5-year-old up.
Oh, yeah.
we go out and play sports and all kinds of things, huh? Yeah.
Do you have decent core strength? Do you realize, like, because I'm a T3, T4, I'm chest level, and that's one thing I miss is, like, the core strength. I wish I had that.
Some days I'm okay. Since I'm T12, it's belly mid level, so belly button down.
Okay.
There's other days that I feel like I can't hold myself up.
Right. Yeah. Good days and bad days. I hear that. What is your pain level like? Do you have any pain that you experience daily or time to time, or?
I'm constantly in pain. I have chronic nerve pain. We are working on getting it taken care of. About a year ago, I had a nerve stimulator placed in my spine to help with the nerve pain.
Mm-hmm.
Because my nerves and my legs my doctors say they're overactive, compensating for the muscles as they're trying to communicate with the muscles.
Right.
And the muscles obviously just aren't communicating back. And I also just started getting injections into my hips, steroid injections. Help with the swelling and inflammation that I have in the soft tissues of my hips now from being in a constant sitting position.
Right. I never thought about that. Thanks, like, Becky. Yeah, I've heard of different things you can do, like the acupuncture therapies and stuff like that to kind of help get the stuff flowing. I myself have not really tried to do that, only because my particular injury, like the doctor, he said, he's like, honestly, I can't tell you. It could be 3 years, could be 5 years, could be 7 years, could be never. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If he said pretty much, if you start to feel stuff, let us know, and then we'll go from there. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So in my mind, I just took it as like, well, I guess I'll just get used to the chair then. You know what I mean? And so I've kind of set my mind up for it. And a lot of it is, I think, mind state and how you choose to view it. You know what I mean? And what you choose to do about it.
Yeah.
My next question is, what helped you the most after the injury?
Honestly, it's been my support system and my kids. I've had a really good support system from day one. My mom and my siblings have been there. My kids, even though they don't quite understand, they don't realize how much them just being with me has helped.
Right, even though they need us, we don't realize how much we need them as well, huh?
Yes, my aunts and uncles, and now my husband, he helps me do a lot, and he's one of my biggest supporters because we got to get out and do things. My best friends, come on, let's go kayaking. We do a lot of kayaking in the summer.
Oh yeah.
So they're always constantly, okay, you're not going to sit around here and be all mopey. Let's go.
Nice. Heck yeah. I can relate to that. Next thing I got for you is, what is your hobbies? Like, before and or after?
Before, I love cars, especially older cars. How I grew up. I grew up in a junkyard.
Nice.
So now I still love cars. Right now I just started my own business because no one wanted to hire me. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just going to start my own business. Going to make my own money. I do woodworking. I burn wood, make tables and frames, and you name it, I could probably do it.
Nice. As far as cars go, are you familiar, since you're from kind of, local to where I am, are you familiar with the downtown Jackson car shows?
Yes, I am.
Nice.
I used to actually go there quite a bit.
My grandfather is one of the guys that got that started. Funny enough, we have something in the Wheelhouse here with the Jackson Citizen Patriot when they wrote an article about it a long time ago. So that's always nice. I like to get down there. They got a huge show down there. I mean, they have over 600-700 cars most times.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so that's a good one to go to for sure.
This year.
Yep, and then Don Marshall, shout out to Don here in Jackson. He has a lot of ones at his house. He does all kinds of stuff all over the place.
Oh, yes, he does.
Yeah, it's a good buddy of mine. So what about travel? Do you like to go places, do things as far as like leave the house for long periods of time, pack the car, you know?
We haven't done a whole lot of traveling. I mean, we've gone to Virginia. That was 2 years ago now. And actually, we have a family vacation planned up for the end of June to go down to North Carolina for a week.
Nice. Heck
Well,
yeah.
I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, I've yet to do. I'm still waiting to do something big. I was thinking about going to Tennessee, but it's just leaving and making sure, you know what I mean, you have everything, and how are you gonna,
Yep.
where are you gonna stay at? How's everything gonna work down there? And
So my nurses have already just let us know. We'll make sure you have all your supplies that you need before
Right.
you go. We'll make sure that you have enough just in case.
oh yeah, yeah. Hell Wheels. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. That's why he's watching on YouTube, and I'm like talking to people on Facebook. He's like, where else are you going? I don't see anybody else. So that's good. I mean, it's. I think travel, if you do like to do it, it's something you shouldn't, that shouldn't stop you. You should just try it, go out, do it again, see what you think.
Just because you are wheelchair bound, no matter your level of injury,
Injury.
no matter at the level, you can do things. There's
Right.
always something for someone to do. Being outside is therapeutic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do agree with that as well. The last question that I have for you is, what is the biggest piece of advice you would give to somebody who is newly injured?
Don't give up, no matter what. I know it's hard. I definitely have my days to where I'm like, "No, I'm just done. Like, what is the point?" But there's always people out there to support you, whether it's your family, friends, others that have been in your place or are in your place. No matter what, you can't just give up. There is life after becoming paralyzed and losing a good portion of yourself.
Right. Yep, I agree with that. 100%. I would also add to this conversation that, it's also good to do what we're doing, kind of, if you can. If you find an outlet, let people know. You know what I mean? If you, like you said, you didn't know if you could do this. You were kind of nervous, and a lot of people are nervous, but the more people that can stand up and, I say stand up very loosely, but stand up and actually speak out and say something, like, hey, You know, it's okay to feel this way or that way. I think it's important. We can all be in this together. You know what I mean? Support system is important. And not everybody has support systems like we do. So it's like, you know.
Yeah. And if anybody ever wanted to reach out to me, ask questions, or even just talk, I'm always a message away. I'm willing to talk to anybody that's fairly new at it, or even that's had it for a few years, 20 years. It doesn't matter. I'm willing to be someone's support system.
Right. Very admirable. I like it. Jessica says, "Hey, Tomasa, love you."
That's one of my besties.
Nice. Yeah, you definitely got a big support system. One thing we are going to do after we get done with all this is I'm going to get your information for the GoFundMe that we talked about. You have. Tell us a little bit about that. What is that about?
So the GoFundMe that I have going on right now, hold on, Bubba, is for a track chair. And what the track chair will do is it's more like they look like tracks on them.
Mm-hmm. Almost like tank treads, yeah.
Yeah. So it goes through it can go up to 5 inches of water, goes through the sand, the dirt, the grass. And just with my kids, we love being outdoors, hiking. Right now we are in softball season. We like to go to the beach, and just in my chair, it makes it a little more complicated. So that chair gives me a little bit more freedom to go outdoors and be able to go back to hunting, and being able to go more places to go fishing and just be outdoors with my kids, because being inside, it's a pain.
Oh, yeah. And if anybody's tried to roll a regular manual wheelchair through sand or gravel or something like that, you'll understand even going uphill on a small angle in the grass is like double hard, you know what I mean, with anything else. Hot Wheels or Hell Wheels says, my advice is to keep your body parts healthy, the ones that you don't feel. I've been in wheels for 30 years. Appreciate that, Hell Wheels. So yeah, we'll get that down in the description. So anybody that would like to help Tomasa get her track chair, or at least a good start on it, let her know, and just go ahead and, you know, help out. Anything helps.
That it does.
But besides that, I appreciate you joining with me. Stay with me here after we get done wrapping up, and we'll talk a little bit more about how we're going to do this stuff with the guests that come. And then anybody else that wants to join on a Wheelchair Wednesday, feel free to just send me a message on Facebook or comment on YouTube, or however you want. I don't know if I have an email attached, but just hit it, click it, send it, do whatever. Besides that, what is your last words to the people, Miss?
Stay strong, because no matter what life throws at you, you will make a big difference in somebody's life.
Yeah, he loved to play with me.
Nice.
My dog, my Meadow's dog.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, good job, buddy. All right, well, until next time, we'll see you on the next Wheelchair Wednesday. I'm Wheelchair Rick, and see ya.